Hello, I'm Mark.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
And today we're going to talk about supercharger routes for Tesla Semi. But first,
Mega charges.
Let's roll that title.
You're watching the Tesla Life Express.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm going to switch it up a little bit right now. If you haven't already, give us that thumbs up. I'm asking for it early. And we know you'll like it. So go ahead, do it now. Get it out of the way. But today we're going to talk a little bit about Tesla Semi and their megacharger route, which was proposed for a second time to the U.S. federal government, looking for some grant money to set up a route. With me, as always, Mr. Casey Green and Patrick Connor has joined us. And there's a map that Casey's sharing with us. We've got ourselves, 9 different cities, a run from Fremont, California to Laredo, Texas. They had sent this maybe a year ago, looking for some funds to help with the placing of this first megacharger route for trucking. But a year ago, the answer was no. And it was just resent and ruled upon again this past week. And again, the answer is no, second time round.
So,
well, the answer is not exactly no. The answer is, that's a good idea. Let's do it and give 49 other companies the money to do it. I can't even think of 49 companies capable of doing this.
Let alone of working together and putting together a network like this for their first go around with something that has to be even more reliable than public car charging, because now you've got companies and customers relying on this electric highway working flawlessly.
That's right.
And as Patrick has mentioned, I don't know how you could pick anyone else other than Tesla based on their track record and based on the rest of the industry following them. In fact, switching adapters to the next port, to signing on with Tesla to use their existing growing network. It's obviously something that someone's got they've got Tesla stuck in their throat and they're not letting it through. Like that's just all there is to it. This is something that is such a slam dunk for what Tesla could do because they've proven it time and time again. But yet it's going to be ignored for this particular time. Now, there is some good news. Obviously, we have an administration change that's happening in the U.S. federal government, and secondly, the funds for this bipartisan bill, there's still lots of funds left to dole out over time. So Tesla's going to have another crack at this a third time. And you know what they say, third time's a charm. But we will see if this gets changed in the future as Tesla applies for this another time. But again, we were saying a year ago, it certainly makes sense that Tesla could have this type of route, especially between its factories. Obviously, it makes sense for them, but it would also be something that would allow others to start using an electrified route and build a test case, build some white papers based on what actually can happen when you have a reliable charging network available to your company. So that's what they're trying to prove here. Build that first one, and then you're going to have droves and droves that follow and reproduce this in other areas that make sense financially and to the companies and to the distributors and customers that are going to use this.
Yeah. And it wasn't all bad news. In the same time they did this award to everybody else but them, there was an award that Tesla applied for sole source that they now get to share with one other company, but I didn't read the details on that one. But it wasn't for the trucks. That one was for regular NACS-equipped vehicles.
Yeah.
So, Mark, you mentioned how reliability is vital for a network like this. You have someone who's a professional driver. They're on this route. This is not just some joyride. They're trying to get some product from A to B, whatever it is,
Often
and
perishable.
it could be perishable, or it could be something where, okay, it's a just-in-time delivery, and if the parts don't get there, the whole line goes down, and then people have to get sent home, and they don't get paid for that day. And so there's a lot of money that rides on this. So I hope
Good
that all of
example.
these grants have a couple things. One, an uptime requirement, and two, a deadline for power on, because you
Yes.
don't want to. So I've been an EV driver for a long time, and in 2010, 11, 12, there was a lot of grant money going out for people to install EVSEs or chargers. And it was so bad. There were companies that you've never heard of that would throw these out. They would get the grant money. They wouldn't do any maintenance. They wouldn't do any monitoring. They didn't care because they got paid by how many they put in. So they would put them in as quick and dirty as they could. They didn't get paid for maintenance. There was no uptime requirement. And most of those companies failed, got bought out by some other company that was getting money from similar ways. So it's not what we want to see happen for semi trucks. They have to have reliable routes, high uptime, redundancy, more than one stall. There's lots of lessons that we've learned how not to do things in the past, and this. There's obviously some political motivation behind snubbing Tesla on this, because if you were just looking at who could build it reliably and meet those requirements, Tesla has a proven track record. But it could be that they're looking at, well, okay, we know Tesla could do this, but we need to have more than one company capable of doing it. If we seed these other companies, maybe there can be a broader market. So I'm hoping it's something along those lines, although the cynical part of me says no. The reason's clear.
Yeah.
But it is a point that there in the future there has to be more than one that can do it. Like
Exactly.
you definitely do need multiple companies that can do this same type of work and do it reliably and keep the uptime there and monitor the situation and do it on time. All those things have to be done by multiple companies. You can't just rely on one company to do everything. You've got
Exactly.
to be able to bring others along for the ride, and they have to get better as time goes along.
I'll give an example. Like not too long ago, my mom had to deliver a load to somewhere in the Midwest, around Colorado-ish, right? And they just had a bunch of snow there, right? And so they arrived a few hours late, not a whole shift, a whole day or anything, like maybe 2, maybe 3 hours late because they had to go at half speed and the roads were closed, et cetera, et cetera. And the client rejected the load, so they had to. It was thankfully like just it was some kind of like bulk food. They were able to donate it to a food bank, like raw potatoes or something. But
wow, 3 hours late, and they say no, we don't want it.
Well, they missed the connection, like you said, just in time. Also works on food too. So the other truck already left, and they couldn't have it wait around until the next time the other truck was supposed to come back. So
right,
it was done.
So you've got to have, those are contracts, those specific contracts that they're saying, you have to arrive within this time frame. And of course, the trucking company agreed to it. And over time, of course, some things like snowstorms and weather delays can cause those timetables to go awry. Definitely.
Yeah. And like if it's big enough, like a weather event, it's not like a one road closure. Like, oh, you messed up. It's like we couldn't get around half the continent. We could come back for the other direction.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But now imagine that they pick an unreliable contractor and they put in some shoddy equipment at the least bid, and now this is happening on regular.
Right, because you're not affecting just one trucking company. You're affecting anyone that's using that electrified highway. So you've got multiple companies that are depending that the charge is there, that it's working, it's up, and it's accessible to multiple vehicles. That there's not just one, and that's the only one. And whoever gets there first spends half an hour, and you're sitting on the sidelines waiting for half an hour so you can charge for half an hour. So you can't have that type of situation that we've seen in the Wild West of early funding when it came to EV charging.
Yeah, these things are going to need to look like supercharger sites, the new supercharger sites where you've got like 40, 80, 120 stalls.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the market for these semi-chargers, only one other competitor to the Tesla semis is promising to do the charging within the truckers' legal minimum requirements. Everybody else takes around, I want to say like 70 to 120 minutes to get their what we would do as a supercharge, and hopefully that just means that you're just that much closer to your end point and you don't need the full charge, or
Right.
some way that you can account for that in your schedule, because that's not flexible enough. And then part of that is also why Tesla made the mega chargers so much more capable. Instead of being 1 megawatt, they came out to be 1.4 megawatts by the time the V4 supercharger came out. So 1.4, 1.2, faster than it needed.
Right. Nice.
I was chomping at the bit a year ago to get this going, and now I'm just kind of disappointed. I really thought that within a year we would have some sort of demonstration, even if Tesla was, able to build their own maybe 3 superchargers, maybe it's between LA and San Francisco, or between San Francisco and the Gigafactory, to have just one publicly available charging station just as a demonstration.
Yeah.
I think that would be a huge PR win for Tesla and for the sale of their trucks, and of course their new factory that's going to be producing a lot more trucks. So that's coming. I don't believe that they're going to miss this. I think this will eventually come around, but I was just hoping for an expedited timetable, which doesn't appear to be the case.
Yeah, right. So we had that article that I co-wrote with Carson Knight, where we pointed out what was holding up semi, what was holding up the mega chargers was the batteries, and so now that they have all of this 2170 capacity and LFP capacity coming online this year, and the Megapack factory is done, and they've got another one coming online, and they finally finished the design for the Megapack, like the mega charger. You could hook up directly to the grid, but you would need such a connection that it would be unreasonable. So if you can buffer through a giant battery this connection, then that would help. And so now they're able to catch up on some demand. They can put in the mega charger, run it through a mega pack, and then they can now hook up however many trucks you need. And the truck factory is coming online in Nevada, across the street from, or same side of the street, whatever you want to call it, as Giga Nevada.
It is, yep.
They're talking about 50,000 trucks. They're talking about was it 40 gigawatt hours through the Megapack 1, 10 gigawatt hours through Cato Road, and then another 40 gigawatt hours through Shanghai if they don't increase it like they tend to do over at Shanghai. Oh, we could do this better. and so this is, I think this is the year, it's my prediction, this is the year of semis and Megapacks. And it's just a matter of how much gets rolled out this first year, because that's going to be the least they'll ever do again.
Right. Good point.
You are correct.
Yeah, one point I want to make is that this network is vital, because with an electric vehicle, if you the outlets are everywhere, they're all over the place. We're a modern world, and electricity is just part of our life. So if you have to, you can trickle charge off of something. Well, with a semi, that's not an option. So guerrilla charging, I've told the story before about how at my brother-in-law's, I ran an extension cord from his dryer out a window, and at Airbnbs, I've done that too. And now with the semi, you can't just go find an outlet. You have to have a reliable network.
Yeah, because when you look at it this way, like my Model X is a little bit more battery capacity than a Model Y, and to go from 0% to 80% is 72 hours on a level 1 granny lead, while bumping it down so that you don't burn the house down. Whereas it's just 4 hours from 0 to 90 or 0 to 100 even on my 72 amp 17 kilowatt home charger.
Right.
And the semi truck is about 9 to 10 Model Y battery packs.
Yeah.
They can't wait a month.
Right.
Well, I think that's where we'll wrap it. We're certainly going to keep our eye on this over time to see if if one of those sites shows up mysteriously or is
Mhm.
placed on a popular route. Hopefully that will happen even before they ask for funding for a third time. But we'll definitely report on this as time goes along. With that, Casey, any shout outs?
Yeah, I'll be excited to see if they can come in as prefab like we saw with the V4s, the 8 in a row.
Mhm.
So catch us on for our next. Well, catch me on on my Just Chatting show over at either at youtube.com/Casey Green or at x.com/gcustom. Like this, we talk about all sorts of stuff in the world of EVs, green energy, batteries, tech, right to repair, all that stuff. It's at 1:10 Eastern-ish. I don't always start on time on Sundays, and then come back again here on Monday for the Tesla Life Express Edition 2, and then on Wednesday for our live show. Those are just the same time, same place, 7 o'clock they drop.
Same time, same back channel. Patrick, any shout outs?
Yes, you've got 10 days left to get Mark your vehicle production estimate for Tesla for 2025. There's the address right there at the Tesla Life. DM him, post it, and let him know what your guess is. So my normal plugs, I am with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I blog occasionally at carswithcords.net, where I write about my future free from fossil fuels. Thank you.
Got it. Thanks for everyone for watching. Again, if you haven't done it, press that thumbs up, press that subscribe, help us out, would really appreciate it. And Casey will send you some fireworks in the mail. But
fireworks.
we'll get back to you next time, and together we'll find out what's happening in the Tesla Life.